Hi ladies, Jaki Sabourin here, and I want to talk to you about 3 things that drive men away, because we don't want to drive men away. That's why I want to talk about this topic. So before I go any further, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you never miss one of my videos. All you have to do is click subscribe and you'll receive a notification every time I make a video. Okay, hi Terry, thanks for being here. So really quick, I'm going to make this really short. I just want to talk to you about 3 things that drive men away. So the first one is not giving men enough space. And so I know this is really hard because you meet a guy or you're dating a guy or you're even talking to a guy and you feel like things are going really well or you hope they will. And so you're really wanting to talk to him. You want to see him. You want to be in touch with him. But he's starting to feel like there's too much clinging going on. And so he's starting to pull back and then you can feel that. And that's because you're not giving him enough space. The thing is, relationships actually give you more space. So you need to trust that when you get into a relationship, you are going to have all the space you need. And a man needs to feel like that he's not going to lose his freedom if he gets into a relationship with you. And that's one of the things that will drive a man away if you're dating him, because he feels like he's going to lose his freedom. And so the great thing about getting into a relationship, if you do this right, a man will feel like he has more freedom. You know why? Because he doesn't have to worry about dating anymore. He's found you. He's in love with you. He's taking care of you. He now can sit back and that part of his life is resolved. He now has more time to focus on all the things that he loves, you, his friends, his work, and all the things that are important to him. So if you try to take some of that space away by expecting him to put all of his attention on you, you're definitely going to drive him away. So remember that we all need our own interests. We all need to have our own friends. We need to develop and continue to develop those relationships, because that's what makes our relationship healthy. And so if you're feeling like clingy or needy or jealous or resentful of that time that he takes with his friend, you really need to look at where that's coming from. Maybe you're feeling a little insecure. Maybe you've been hurt in the past or somebody cheated on you. And so you're trying to control the situation in an attempt for you to feel safe. But what you're doing is pushing him away. You definitely want to take a good look at what you're doing that might be preventing a man from his privacy. So definitely never check his phone. Don't read his messages. Don't dig for information about him. If you feel that there's something that warrants a conversation, that's what you need to have. You need to have a conversation with him if you have any suspicions. And you can say it something like, I need help understanding. Will you please help me to understand this, and then ask him to help you understand it so that it doesn't come across that you're accusing him of anything. So I give my husband a lot of space. In fact, one of the things that we discussed while we were in that commitment phase is that he had all the freedom he needed. In fact, that I encouraged him to do things and continue to do things with his friend. And when he did, I'm like, great, have fun. I'll see you when you get home. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And that comes from being confident. Comes from confidence. So when you have a lot of self-confidence and high self-worth, you can extend all the freedom you want to your guy, because you're going to notice if anything shifts in your relationship, you're going to be aware of it. But also you're going to trust that you have the tools and the capacity to take care of yourself, to heal yourself, to take care of your own heart if anything does happen. And so you have to extend trust to your partner, to the man you're dating. So that's going to keep him actually coming back for more. The fact that you're not clinging in a relationship is going to create curiosity on his part and go, wow, wonder what she's doing. So make sure you have your own friends, your own interests, and you're regularly scheduling those things. Even if you don't want to, it's really important to keep that tension on. Keep him wondering about you instead of you always wondering about what he's doing with his friends. So let's move on to the second thing that drives men away. And this one is a big one for women that are powerful, the power struggle. That's what will drive men away. If you have any kind of power struggle with your man. And so one of the things is pain. That's kind of like a power struggle. And so I really support you not paying for dates. You're not paying for anything for at least the first several weeks, if not months in the relationship, because you want to see what he's willing to do for you. That's going to give you the answers that you need to see if he's a potential partner, a life partner for you. So power struggle could simply be that you're offering to pay or saying things, and you may not even realize that you're saying things like, no, I got it, or I'm good, or thanks, but I'll take care of it. You might even start noticing if you're saying those things, even in the store, if you're reaching up to get something and a man tries to help you and you're like, oh, it's okay, I got it. That is a part of this power struggle. And that tells me that you don't know how to receive. That's what a power struggle is. That you're not in your feminine energy and you don't know how to receive what a man's offering. And also just challenging him. Maybe he says something, you get into a discussion and you challenge what he's saying. Men are not threatened by women who have money, who have a better car or even a higher education. They're not, but they definitely are not. That what will drive men away is if you have a power struggle with them about topics, about their point of view, because a man wants to feel like he's winning with you. And if you want a man in your life, you want to keep this in mind, that it's not that you're dimming your light or stuffing down how you really feel, but it's you recognizing that a man's a man's a man and he needs to feel like a man. And if you want a man in your life, these are the principles of having a relationship with a man. And so save those great debates for your girlfriends, for your coworkers, and just remember that a power struggle with a man is an energy drain, and he's going to choose a woman that's easier to get along with, that's more in her feminine energy. So look at where your energy sourcing. If you're sourcing from masculine, to do some exercises, do some breathing to get yourself centered, to get yourself into the receiving mode. And don't offer to give a man anything, really, especially gifts. Here's another little tip I'm going to give you. Gift giving. Never give a man a gift that is equal to the one that he gives you. Say a man gave you he took you on a trip. If you wanted to give him something because you're dating him, you could give him a book. Okay, that's what I recommend, that you give him a book. Don't give him something like, don't offer to take him on a trip, or don't buy him an expensive dinner. If he buys you an expensive dinner and you've been dating him, then you can, pick up the breakfast tab or cook him a breakfast or get him something small so that he doesn't feel upstaged by you. Also, a man is really uncomfortable with receiving expensive gifts. He doesn't need you to buy expensive gifts. He wants to do that for you, or gifts at all. He wants to be the one that's giving and you're receiving. So anytime you give a man a gift, make sure it's proportionate. 1/4 to his, 4 quarters. So just a small token of your appreciation. What a man really wants from you is appreciation, verbal. Just say thank you and mean it, and tell him how much you appreciate him. That goes so far. It goes much further than anything you could ever give him, because a man thrives on the appreciation and gratitude that you will show him, because then it makes everything that he does for you worthwhile. And the third in my 3 things that drive men away is, and this is a big one, is not saying what you really mean, right? We sometimes think that men can read our mind. We just sit there and it's like we use our body language to kind of communicate, but men don't pick up on the cues in the body language that women use. They're looking for a concrete answer. And so if you don't communicate what it is you want, or if you disagree with something, like he's going out with his friends and you're like, sure, go ahead, but inside you're just, you're steaming because you want him to be with you, he's going to pick up on that energy and he's going to resent the fact that you will not say what you mean. And so you have to learn to communicate. Everything that I'm sharing on these things that drive men away is really about communication. And so if you don't have straight, candid communication, you can't solve issues that will threaten a relationship from even starting. So it all starts with your ability to communicate and learning how to articulate what it is you want to a man, and always making an effort to help him to understand you. And like, I always like to say things like, can you help me to help me understand why I feel the way I do. Men will respond well to that. And what you're really saying is, I'm feeling something, I'm feeling a little out of sorts. Will you help me figure out where it might be coming from? A man will respond really well to that because you're asking for his help, for one. You're not accusing him of anything. You're not being defensive. You're asking for his help to help you understand why you're feeling a certain way. And a man will soften and he'll look at you and he will try to help you figure that out. And so, just make sure that you are really good and clear in your communications with men. That's the thing that's going to drive them away if you're not. Thanks for joining me for my broadcast. Ladies, I'm so glad to see you here. Terry and Kelly and Leah and Joshua, thank you for being here. So good night, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. But keep tuning into my Facebook channel and you'll find me. Okay, lots of love. Bye.